Crayon, and I don't remember what other one. Ruins, of course. So when I actually have time off, I can be quite productive, it appears. But we're casting every day, and if you guys don't know, my schedule is pretty much like no life outside of this. Just sleep, cast, eat, wake up, cast again, repeat.
Mm-hmm.
But that is the month of February. We resolved to give ourselves a very busy month to see what money we could make, how it would look, would our viewership grow, and so far everything's been 2 thumbs up. But this has been one of the most difficult months for Base Trade TV so far, and I want to thank you guys for joining us through every single tough moment of it. But in this very fun Winners Bracket Finals, of course, we are in game number 2, and spawning here on the bottom left side, currently down 1 in the series, it's the Orange Protoss HuK.
In the top right, as the red Zerg, he is Hydra.
Oh, and I just hate reading everybody talk about their data plans in chat right now. Not even in anything reference to like phones versus Wi-Fi. Just knowing that I can't use more than 750 gigabytes a month because of my data cap. And then I see Bobble type, oh, I use 3 terabytes up and down, no big deal.
God. Oh, I don't know about the internet, but I've never actually bothered paying attention to my phone because I thought at one point that I was using it so often that I would definitely go over. My parents would get mad at me because they've gotten mad at my brother, right? But I have never gotten anywhere close to using my plan that my parents set up. And I don't know how my brother does.
Well, I was going to say, in fairness, for like, what, 3 years, you didn't have a phone that could use Skype or barely handle Twitter?
Well, okay, that definitely contributed to that. But even with that's probably one of the moments where I was using my new HTC and I was like, oh my God, I'm using it so often. But still, not even close. I don't know what other people do.
I regularly come up close to about 1 gigabyte on my 2 gigabyte plan.
Do you stream? Is that it?
No, just I usually call people through Skype a bunch and stuff like that. When
okay, yeah, okay, yeah. I don't do that. That would
that would involve talking, and that's weird, right? Like who talks?
Legit? Who does? Okay,
I
calls
do.
People nowadays?
I do. I love talking to people, man. Texting.
I know.
But okay, in fairness, though, for me, it's not about loving talking so much as it is hating texting. Like, got a bad case of like the fat fingers and like cannot type for
with
shit
texting,
on my phone.
You can make sure that you say the right things. Okay, when you're talking, you're just like Farganarg.
No, dude, I like talking. I think it's better.
I've tried to be like you, right? Like I've tried to like talk to someone on Skype, you know, via text, right? And then be like, "Why don't we just talk?" And I feel like it's weird, so I never ask. I'm just like, I can never be like Rifkin.
Okay, then. I didn't realize there's a role model in this instance, but hype. Now the Overlord unfortunately didn't get picked off. HuK is gonna go for another one. I mean, there's not a lot of links coming out, so the Stalker's not in any real danger. And if you can get an Overlord kill early on, not only does it cut out the potential of Hydra coming in for those drops later on, it also just, maybe supply blocks him, screws him with his mineral count early on. But Phoenix Opener, to make sure that neither of these Overlords can turn into drop Overlords, because that has been a consistent problem for all Protoss across the board. Like double drops, any kind of variation of like early drops, it's just been a struggle for people to deal with. Hydra, however, not heading that direction.
Not bothering, I guess. I can defeat him other ways. Well, I don't know if Hydra's really feeling that confident.
Well, I don't think it's that. I think it's just more like this is, I don't know, HuK always seems like, because we've talked about this before, right? He always puts his first pylon in the Mineral Alliance. He always builds SimCity close to home at first. Phoenix Openers for safety. This is not a guy I think you should blindly try and drop, and I think if you do, you're actually asking to lose.
Yeah, that's probably a good point. To those who can't believe that we're still casting, in 12 hours, we'll be casting again.
Yep, the Korean group for the Ting.
How good does that make you feel?
Well, I don't know. My sleep schedule's kind of really messed up right now, so I don't know how it makes me feel. But what are the matches? No, we actually got some good ones. It's like Ryung versus Patience and Alive versus Reality. That's right, because we had the drama of Alive perhaps not being able to play because of the Cybet stuff. But
right.
Good good games.
Yeah, should be. I hope that Patience doesn't die to all the Terran.
I mean, the good thing is, like, with so many Terran knocking each other out, it does mean less Terran likely later on. But yeah, I hope.
Yeah. So Dev's going to go ahead and suicide themselves in. The Phoenix is going to actually help out quite a bit, just getting the Queens to stop and Well, actually checking ahead too for the adepts, see if it's all safe to go. 30 lings are being made now by Hydra, who I guess was being pretty damn greedy before that, didn't have anything really. There's a couple of lings over there, but the adepts are getting everywhere. They haven't gotten too much scouting the main, but third to natural again here. Oh, last one's gonna die. And now Hydra has about 40 lings, and I don't know what he's gonna do with them.
Well, darting across the map.
125.
HuK's actually pretty, with a couple of sentries and pylons finishing up momentarily, he'll be fine to hold against this. This isn't not gonna be too problematic at all.
Yeah, and some of the links that go down to the adepts after all, so it is actually down to 25. So that's not quite enough to get a cancel. If there were 40, maybe you'd try and sack them on the Nexus. But it is so far done, it's almost complete. Would not be worth it. Hydra is at a pretty nice drone count right now. Getting up to a Hydralist end. No Roach Warren? No, he has one. He's just not using it right now.
So, of course, one of the reasons Base Trade TV is consistently off topic is because we do stream with a delay, and responding to things when people respond to us 3 minutes ago, people say, why don't you just call them on the phone? Because unfortunately, if I use my phone plan to call somebody that's in Australia, it's going to rape my phone bill. I don't have a better word for that. It's just disgusting how expensive it is to call out of country. So unfortunately, Skype is the best option, and data through Skype is the best way to call people that are not in Canada.
Plus Skype is the new thing.
Yeah. I'm actually really excited to try out all Ting's features, like whether it's phone calls or texts or anything like that when we go to DreamHack Austin. Because I got a lot of friends in the States I talk to anyways, so that'll be nice. Although I hope to see most of them at DreamHack, to be honest. It's actually really awesome. Pretty much everyone I've talked to has said they are going to DreamHack, so that's going to be really cool. Just getting to hang out with everybody once again. But it's so far away. 2-3 months. Ugh.
How about that TwitchCon?
San Diego. What's the date? I saw the location. Did they say the date?
It's late September, early October.
Oh, okay, cool. So it's kind of same as last year. Better than San Francisco, that's
Pretty
for
close.
sure.
Yeah, well, we would have had free housing apparently. But is that worth the smell of pee? I don't know.
Yeah, San Francisco is not a great smelling city. But apparently that was just the part we were in, what everyone keeps telling me. But Phoenixes have not gone down yet, but they have found a couple of Hydras to pick up here and there. Oh, gotta be careful picking those up, though. Loses one. Of course, for HuK, losing these Phoenix early is bad, not because you're going to be using them for continued harass as the game goes further, but the crowd control aspect that they bring is huge. Whether they're picking up lurkers or just taking some Hydras out of the fight, it can heavily influence how fights go sometimes.
Oh, yeah. This has gone to a fairly decent macro game for both sides. You know, we don't have the surprise mutas that happened last game. And, well, he is getting a Spire. This is always, like, the tricky thing to read into, I guess, is, like, they could go for the Spire, but they'd also just be going for a Hive and use that as a greater Spire. Like, I don't know. And, of course, HuK also would be able to scout that with his Phoenixes if he really tried. Also wouldn't be too sure. There's a lot of Hydras on the way, and the Lurker Den is going ahead and researching all the Hydra upgrades, though, so sticking just on that tech for now. Still no roaches, still no roach speed. Just finishing right now, actually, but not actually bothering getting that fodder. HuK is moving across the map, trying to look threatening, I suppose, but has to go back home. There is that Hive, and then I gotta imagine that he's gonna turn the Spire into a greater Spire as soon as possible when that's done. And HuK has got to be on top of that, basically, on top of that timing. But first, he has to deal with the little. It's not that big of an army, and it's not incredibly well protected. Like 2 Lurkers, a handful of Hydras. It's not too scary, but Lurkers in good position are always scary. 5 Corruptors on the way, gonna help take care of the War Prism.
We are moving towards Hive Tech. I'm curious what direction he goes with this. Broodlords seem to be like the default. Ultra's not so great versus Protoss in general, but I'm liking this harass out of HuK. Now he does get a bunch of Zealots in here, draws a big portion of the army back home. He starts moving on the left side. He's got a little bit of protection, so these Lurkers aren't so terrible to deal with, but doesn't quite get to take advantage of Hydra being so badly out of position.
Yeah, looks like Hydra's going to be okay. HuK does not bring his mothership with this, so it put him a little scarier. His Warp Prism doesn't actually die. I thought it was going to die to the Corruptors. But they are just popping out of the 4th base now. So it can come back another day, potentially. There's the Greater Spire, but HuK's already on top of it, maybe? He has double robo already, so he's fine for the ground. He had a Templar Archive, so Archons are morphing in. And now he's going to go and go up to that Fleet Beacon. And we're going to see Tempest versus Broodlords. Oh, 2 Immortals. Caught a little off guard here. Actually,
I love this move out of this Phoenix to keep him alive. Great moves out of HuK. Unfortunately, still kind of gives up the 4th base location, but hopefully not for too long. The Immortal's incredibly instrumental to the way any ground fight's going to go. Very important he kept those alive, as they do snowball, and with the barrier ability coming off of cooldown, they're not actually as low on health as they appear. Barrier can extend their life by quite a bit. Corruption on the right side. Look for that Warp Prism. Hydras are going to catch this. A little bit unfortunate for HuK. Again, going to have to get shut down because he's got slow Warpins. I guess no, they're touching the Nexus. Excuse me. It's going to be enough to warp in fast enough, but not going to be enough to save the Nexus. So once again, shut down. And as we get further and further in the game, this 4th base becomes more and more important.
Yeah, that is certainly true. And luckily, HuK hasn't really lost that much army over the course of this game, so his armor's play isn't bad, and he has just enough of a bank to, well, replant the 4th base, but also to try and get up to at least some Tempests, as Broodlords are on the way, and that's his immediate concern. 10 Broodlords, I guess they can be kind of run around, maybe, if he really needs to buy time, but his army, especially without the recall, isn't exactly super fast and speedy itself. We also have some Spineclaws coming down, so the Lurkers can have something hide back against. Here they come now. Actually going to be caught by the army. That's pretty awkward. The Broodlords are slowly moving in, and HuK has nothing to deal with them. Doesn't even have any Blink Stalkers. Doesn't even have Blink.
He's kind of just wickedly out of position in general, because once again, that 4th base under attack. The Phoenixes are like questionable. Maybe could use these against the Broodlords. Like, they're not going to do a lot of damage, but they will at least shoot them down. Problem is, he's losing a lot of everything, and that 4th base needs to go up. Very badly does he need to get this up and running.
Yeah.
With the Tempest on the way too, he's got a little bit of time on his side. Broodlords are slow. They're coming across the map, not too fast, and he's just barely got the money to produce them is what really sucks for this.
Yeah, exactly. Just enough of a bank to have that 4th base and 1 or 2 Tempests, but 1 or 2 Tempests are not going to be killing the Broodlords that quickly at all. And again, there's no Blink Stalker support, you know? There's no, like, hopefully catching them out of position and blinking under them, and they also are going to have transfuses. It's just going to be seriously up to the Tempests. Some Stalkers are being warped in, but they're gonna have to walk up to the Broodlords. Just walk. Just try that.
I mean, this is, by the way, one of those rare times you miss Colossus, right? Because Colossus would take care of Broodlings so easily and so quickly, and you wouldn't have to worry about the swarm of units around you. But the Lurkers killing everything on the ground, the Immortals just kind of stumbling forward, and GG gonna get thrown down, and HuK will take a 2nd loss here in the winners match. Of course, he's not out of the